My goodness, what a wonderful morning. Good morning. Good morning, all of you wandering souls. Come and take your seats. I am so pleased to welcome you to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. I am the senior minister here at Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living and the community spiritual leader. And I want to welcome also all those of you who are with us online this morning. Thank you for being here and being part of our congregation, even at a distance. It's great to have you with us. This is the first Sunday after Easter. It's trying to decide whether to rain or be sunny, and so are we. Some of us are in the sunny mood and some of us aren't. That's okay. Wherever you are, wherever you may be on your journey of faith or your day of emotion, whatever's going on, you're welcome here. We're delighted to have you here. So the way that we begin is by making sure that everybody's welcome. So I'm going to invite all of you to stand up, walk around, welcome each other, greet people you haven't seen in a while, introduce yourselves to anyone you don't know. And those of you at home, give yourself another cup of tea or coffee. Take a little hike around the living room. We'll be back in just a moment to sing the opening song, but we want you to know we're really pleased that you're with us today. I know. I'm really pleased that we have, although we have a small group this morning, I think, people who only go once a year or they only come occasionally, last Sunday was the day, so hearty souls, God bless you all. And I just want to say, too, Francine is here this morning with us. Yay! And from the East Coast, Mary and Jay are here with us. And Al is here, and he was here last week, but we haven't seen him in a while, so we're happy to see Al. Welcome back. So we are just delighted to be here together. And this morning, we have Daniel Nahmod doing music for us. And one of the lovely things about Daniel is that he's just so darn quirky. It's wonderful. I love it. You never know. He's very original. You never know quite what he's going to do. So there is one song that he does an introduction for, but bear with him because it's cute and it is applicable to what he's going to be singing. So this morning, we're going to be singing a song that we have sung with him before. It's a little bit more slow and gentle. This is kind of the atmosphere of today. Everybody's like, we got through Easter, yay. Okay, so please stand and let's join Daniel with Get Ready, My Soul.
Hello, my friends in Golden Gate. Happy Easter.
You can turn them up a little bit.
Daniel Nahmod here down in Orange County. Glad to be here with you this Sunday morning.
Maybe a little more.
It's a Sunday morning about going deeper, and it's a relatively quiet song to start with, but I thought we'd start with this one, so feel free to join in with me. Here we go. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment, here to a new beginning, here. And I'm seeing life so clearly now. Once more, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in, get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. Thanks, and good morning.
This really is the kind of thing that we're encouraging our souls to soften, to open, to feel safe, to be still. This is the kind of experience we're opening into this morning. So now that we've sung more or less together and said hello to everyone, we're going to turn within and anchor this energy of soul awareness together with Reverend Judith Fleener, who's coming up to pray us in.
With the ready heart of the soul, it is easy to feel the divine. Sometimes, however, our heart isn't yet ready. And then we need to seek the divine. And so it is a reminder to go to that centered place within, the quiet place of the soul, to remember that there is only one power, one presence, one divine energy running everything, all the chaos and all the calm, all the joy and all the sorrow, all the power and the sense of weakness. It is all the divine energy swirling, dancing, bringing life forth anew. And so centered in this place of knowing there is only one presence, one power, one delight, I remind myself that I am not separate from it. I am it. I am the delight of the universe, expressing in different ways and in different times. And just as the energy contains everything, I contain everything all the time. It's just that sometimes I may feel more sad and sometimes I may feel more jubilant. But to remind myself that in the center of all of it, I am the one power, the one presence, individualized as myself. And so it is in this nature and in this way of knowing that I'm constantly connected with that divine energy that is creating the next and the next and the next in a constant circle, that I claim for our time together here a rekindling of the soul, allowing for whatever is needed for each and every individual in this moment and the moments moving forward. If a healing is called for, let a healing be. If a relationship needs to be enlivened, let communication occur. If there needs to be a sense of abundance and security, let us remember that the one security that we all have at all times is that the divine is working through us. Let this time together be a remembering of the truth that we all believe and that we all live in, moving forward. Let the music uplift the soul. Let Mary's words inform the mind. Let the conversations with old friends and new enliven the heart. And let this day and time together spur new action into the spring and the summer as we go around the cycle of time. And in this knowing that all of this is happening at once, I just give thanks. Thanks for life itself, thanks for healing, thanks for abundance, thanks for joy, thanks for power. And I let it be, and so it is. Amen.
It's possible that I occasionally test my wife's patience. I'm just saying it's possible. I mean, she says I do. So if that's true, then it's true. Right now, I'm going to test your patience, though, in a different, hopefully in a different way. Because for me, the process of going deeper, of finding or hearing or acknowledging or understanding the whisper of my next thing to do, the next calling, the next purpose, the next project, the next me, finding that next thing doesn't require more action, more busyness, and more effort. It actually requires more patience and, in my case, something that does not come easily at all, more quiet. So I thought, before we begin a lesson for today, that we begin with a little bit of patience and quiet. And you might find that something is whispering to you. Here we go. People say the world is always speeding up, that there's hardly even time enough for love, that Mother Nature doesn't get things done the way that humans can, that we must never stand in the way of progress. It's time to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down now. Time to take a breath, and slow it down. It's time to look around at where we are now, at who we've become, at where we're headed. It's time to slow it down. Time to slow it down. I don't buy what these Google folks are selling, that we should all be living at the speed of light. It seems like all these glowing screens are always yelling to fill my head, but never give me peace of mind. It's time to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down now. It's time to take a breath and slow it down. It's time to look around at where we are now, at what we've become and where we're headed. It's time to slow it down. Time to slow it down. Oh, 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 It's time to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down.
This whole year, we're thinking about and looking into the idea of rising higher and growing deeper at the same time. So some of the time, like last week, we're focused on the rising part of it, the expanding of beingness and consciousness and connection. And other times we're talking about going deeply down into the roots and spreading them out and connecting and communicating in that deeper way. This month being April, I've been talking about renewal and rebirth, that process that we see every spring where it looks like there are at least parts of the plant that are brand new and newly born, even though the rest of it may have been around for a while, like some of us. And so today, I'm addressing the question of what within us wants renewal and rebirth. What wants that? See, we as human beings are meaning-making creatures. We want to understand, we want to know, we want to be in the know, we want to figure out or discover. We want to understand and have that information. And if it isn't obvious, then we extrapolate from what is visible to make decisions about what things mean. We may be right or wrong, but it's our natural bent to do that, to want to make sense of something, to explain it, to understand it. You with me here so far? So while working for an organization that delivers luncheons to older folks who are homebound, this woman took her 6-year-old daughter on her afternoon rounds, and she was unfailingly intrigued by the various appliances that older people were using in their homes, particularly canes and walkers and wheelchairs. Well, one day, this woman found her daughter staring at a pair of false teeth soaking in a glass, just really examining them. And her mother said, as I braced myself for the inevitable barrage of questions, she merely turned and whispered to me, "The tooth fairy will never believe this." Making sense of what she saw based on what she knew, making an assumption, assigning meaning to a particular situation, because what was true was something so unfamiliar that she wouldn't have known what was going on otherwise. We as human beings are always reaching and seeking and yearning and feeling for more. We want the depth. We want the connection. We want to discover things. We want to be significant. We want to matter. We want to make a difference. And so I think that it doesn't matter what we look into that human beings do, art or science or sports, addictions, whatever action we take as human beings, it's our desire to go more deeply into something, to discover it, to express it, to experience it, to excel. Extreme sports that people get involved in. Everything we do as human beings, where we enter into that realm of pushing ourselves forward to see if we can't do more, if we can't find out more, if we can't discover more, if we can't go beyond what has happened before. And in the midst of that, why? Why do we want to do that? Why do we care? Why are we even interested? We have really, most of us, at least in the Western world, if we look at our lives, we have pretty much what we need. Why isn't that enough? Why do we keep reaching and pushing and stretching and sometimes breaking because we've pushed so far? You know, Ram Dass said once that creativity springs from the yearning to be the fullness of who we are, the fullness of it. And there's no limit really to it. I mean, we can push so far physically that we can injure ourselves, but in actual truth, we're trying to see if there's a limit. And if there is an imagined limit, could I go beyond that limit that everybody thinks is real for this moment? So we yearn for that depth and connection and significance and meaning. But why? Ernest Holmes says there is an inner urge in our own minds to grow, to expand, to break down the barriers of previous limitations, and to ever widen our experience. This persistent urge is a divine influence, mostly misinterpreted and misunderstood, and often pursuing devious pathways. It is still the urge back of all accomplishments, the promise of all fulfillment. We want to connect with something more, something deeper. We're always going toward that more. And I think there's something within us, even in our human time and space existence, there's something within us that remembers way back somewhere, there was more. Way back somewhere, there was a more complete experience of meaning and connection and oneness, and we want that. So we keep trying to find it, to discover it, to seek our way into it in this time-space experience, but it is somehow bigger than what we can manage in our human forms in time and space. And so we're forever pushing into the corners, looking more deeply, trying to find that experience. Holmes also said, every longing and yearning you've ever had, every secret desire of your soul, every constructive ambition you've ever had is a whispering of this life, capital L, of this life assuring you that you are one with it. You are a concrete manifestation, a personification of it. You are a center where life, capital L, is passing through you, becomes a definite, distinct, unique individualization of itself. There is no one else like you in all the universe. There never will be. So that extreme expression of the infinite presence as all of these expressions of life, of form, is such a miracle. And we are wanting to taste, to remember, to know, to be connected with the miracle of it. There's something greater, deeper, more. And no matter how far we go in our seeking and our discoveries and our inventions and creations and new awarenesses, there's always more. There's always a next level, a next revelation. You know, I sometimes refer to the Patent Office, the United States Patent Office. In 1929, the person who was the head of the US Patent Office, 1929, said, everything that has been invented is everything that can be invented. Everything that could be invented has been invented in 1929. Yeah, maybe not quite. We're nearly 100 years past that, and as far as I know, we're still discovering stuff. We're still learning stuff. We're still recognizing that we had an incorrect or an incomplete view or understanding of something, and there's more. So we're going toward this, I don't know, this unknown more. And it seems to me, you know, when I talk about prayer, I say no matter what we pray about, no matter what we think we're praying for, there's only one thing we're really ever praying about. We want more God. We want more God experience. We want more feeling of wholeness, of completeness, of connection, of oneness. And we think, I'd be happier if, or I will be happy when. And so we're going toward that elusive, larger happiness. And all it is a greater awareness of and connection with the infinite mystery. That's all it really is. But we think, well, if I have this, that little bit will contribute to me enough that I'll be satisfied, or I'll feel comforted, or I will forgive myself, or whatever it is that we're holding out for. Holmes said, miracles are natural. Every manifestation of faith through prayer, every wonder and sign which has followed the devotional life has been an inevitable result of some hidden cause set in motion by the life principle or the creative law or that activity of the divine in us. Every longing and yearning we've ever had, every secret desire of our soul, and every constructive ambition we've ever had is but a whispering of this power, assuring us that we are one with it, that we are a manifestation or personification of it, that we are the center in it. So here's the secret. Everything we're looking for, everything we're trying to get more of, everything we want to discover or understand or manifest, it's already here. It never went anywhere else. We are that already. Everything we think we want, everything we're trying to learn or discover or create or experience or expand into, it's already given. It's already here. We already are it. We already have it. So why don't we know that? Why don't we discover that in ourselves? Well, what we find is when somebody wakes up, that's exactly what they know. That's exactly what they're telling us all the time. Listen to Eckhart Tolle. Listen to Byron Katie. Listen to somebody who woke up and they'll tell you there's nothing you need to be, there's nothing you need to do, there's nothing more you need to accomplish, or as Ernest Holmes said, you're as holy as you're ever going to get. It's already all right here. It's not somewhere else. So when we're reaching for it, it's not to say we shouldn't do all of those things that allow us to explore and experience, because that's why we're in three-dimensional time and space. So we really can do that. At the same time, maybe what we want is to also do that same kind of exploration inside, in consciousness, within ourselves. Maybe the more we're trying to slap onto the outside of our lives, we would find more readily by searching within, or at least adding that into the mix. Is this making sense what I'm saying to you? Yeah? So I'm thinking that we actually are in the process of remembering what we already know about this. So when you dismember something, you take it apart, right? When you remember something, you put something back together that was together before. And that was together before is the infinite wholeness that we come from. And we are, in our lives as human beings, remembering it. We are putting it back together again, little bits at a time. Who is not delighted or at least smiling when they hear a little baby laughing? Really, those belly laughs that little tiny kids get, You can't suppress your urge to smile. I mean, you could, but why bother? Because it's so delightful and so charming, and we all have experienced it. We've all been there in that. It's natural for us. So we are remembering who we really are, what's actually in us, when we yearn for connection or greater freedom or the experience of harmony and wholeness, that beauty that's everywhere in life. Is pretty difficult to pick up somebody's discarded cigarette butt off the ground and see beauty. But maybe we should try. Maybe we should stop excluding things from our perception of amazement and wonder. We might not want to see that on the sidewalk, but could we stretch our belief system to consider that even that cigarette butt is a manifestation of the presence of God, and maybe, and this is way out there, maybe there's even a level of consciousness and awareness in that. So suppose we pick that up and we discard it in a more appropriate place without being disgusted, but with a certain amount of curiosity and amazement and care. If we think about and this is very Buddhist, if we think about everything in life having its own awareness, which is as important as ours, well, that could really affect a lot of our choices in terms of what we do in life, in terms of how we see it. Aldous Huxley said, the reason we like precious jewels so much is they remind us of planes of consciousness we've lived on where those were the pebbles. Precious and semi-precious jewels. Imagine living in a world where those are the pebbles. So I'm often drawn to the exploration and description that Eben Alexander gave in his book, Proof of Heaven, for an experience that he had while his brain was offline. I talk about this in my classes when we look at immortality and we talk about, what's beyond the door of death. When I do memorial services, I often use a quote from Ram Dass where he says he was having a conversation with a channeled being. And he had prefaced it by saying, I don't know about channeling. I don't know if it's a higher self, if she's making it up, or if it's something else, and I really don't care. Because he said, when wisdom comes forth and I hear it, it doesn't matter. It's like in Illusions when Richard says to Donald Shimoda, you're quoting Snoopy the dog, I believe. And Donald says, I'll quote truth wherever I find it, thank you very much. So, Eben Alexander is a neurosurgeon who grew up Catholic, but who basically, in becoming a scientist and a medical doctor and a surgeon, really came to rely upon the scientific perspective or paradigm that is materialism, that everything can be explained by what is in form interacting with other stuff that's in form. There's nothing else. That's the materialistic viewpoint. And it has been science's viewpoint for 150 years, but there are cracks now because we're seeing the limits of that perspective. We're seeing there are things that are showing up, and they're well documented, that can't be explained in that way. Even quantum physics is saying, well, all this stuff that you discovered about how big things interact with each other is great, but look at these little tiny things, they're doing something else. And guess what? Everything that is made up of these little tiny things that are doing something else that can't be explained in the way that the physical big stuff gets explained. So this is the world that Eben Alexander had grown into. He was Catholic in name, but really kind of an atheist. You know, somebody who maybe went to church on holidays because his family needed to, you know, that kind of thing. Something happened to him. He got meningitis, bacterial meningitis, which is something, bacterial meningitis, which is something only little tiny babies usually get. But he had traveled someplace and come back, and this hit him like a locomotive running over him. So while he was dead for all intents and purposes, in a coma, he had an experience. And this lasted for, I believe, a week or 10 days. Matter of fact, they were on the verge of unplugging him when he woke up, but we won't go there right now. He says, there is no scientific explanation for the fact that while my body lay in coma, my mind, my conscious inner self, was alive and well. While the neurons in my cortex were stunned to complete inactivity by the bacteria that had attacked them, my brain-free consciousness journeyed to another larger dimension of the universe, a dimension I had never dreamed existed, and which the old pre-coma me would have been more than happy to explain was a simple impossibility. My near-death experience, however, took place not while my cortex was malfunctioning, but while it was simply off. This is clear from the severity and duration of my meningitis and from the global cortical involvement documented by CT scans and neurological examinations. According to current medical understanding of the brain and the mind, there is absolutely no way that I could have experienced even a dim and limited consciousness during my time in the coma, much less the hyper-vivid and completely coherent odyssey I underwent. If you haven't read Proof of Heaven, I recommend it very highly. It changed his life, his mind, his understanding of what was true in that level beyond three-dimensional time and space. And it is that kind of, or maybe not even at that level, but it's the taste of that, the confirmation of it, the desire to connect with it, that I think all people feel, that even if they're avowed atheists, they would welcome the discovery that they're wrong if they had an experience that revealed that clearly to them. So what I'm finding in everything that I'm looking into right now, because it must be time for me to look into that, is that when we dig down into these kinds of experiences, when we dig down into the messages of mystics, we find that they say the same thing, that the universe and everything that is created, all that is, the essence of it is love. The essence of it is love. So when we are living from love or living lovingly or attempting to move our consciousness to a more loving place, we are closer to that. That is the direction. So I look at all these little kids in Africa sitting in a circle with their feet together. This is the practice of Ubuntu, which means I am because you are, or I am because we are. That the you and I and we is all different manifestations of the same thing, that the essence of it is love. And we learned last week that when you raise your vibration in greater love, it heals things in the physical body, that the experience of simply thinking about somebody we really love and all the things about them that delight us when we think about that, what happens is our blood vessels expand. And as they expand, the heart works less strenuously because it's easier to pump the blood through the system, so the blood pressure goes down. And also, it releases chemical that floods through those blood vessels and starts clearing the junk out of them. Well, what a wonderful, easy thing to do. It's so simple. It doesn't require a prescription. It doesn't require a workup or an exam. It is always available to us at every moment. So close your eyes for a moment and think about somebody you dearly love. This could be a pet. It could be a plant. It could be a person. Think of somebody you dearly love and just think of all the reasons you love them. And consciously now, just extend that love to wherever they are. Just picture yourself giving them a hug, or feeding them, or petting them, or watering them, or whatever it is. Think about the beauty of that being, how freely it is itself. All right, now you can open your eyes. You just did a mini healing for yourself in that moment. I would suggest that anytime we have a live musician or band here, that our job as we're receiving their music is to beam love in their direction. Just love bombardment, just give them love while they're sitting there. See if we can not only give ourselves a little healing moment, but them as well. And let's do something really weird this morning. For the next 2 videos that we have of Daniel, because remember, God isn't limited to time or space, and the mind can't tell the difference between a real event and a vividly imagined one. So while Daniel's on the screen in the room here, while we're watching a video he did several days ago, beam love at him. Just beam love at him. I would love to find out if he notices anything. Love, you see, is the way. Love is the way, and love is the answer. So we can do all those things, we can pray for all those things, we can enter into all of those experiences with a desire to know more and be significant and make a difference, and to the way of doing it is love, of whatever we're doing, of bringing love to that. Whether it's mathematics or child rearing or baking a cake or mowing the lawn or figuring out a physics problem, bringing love. Eckhart Tolle said, your primary intention needs to be connectedness within the heart at this moment. Connectedness within the heart. Now I know that a lot of you know pretty much everybody who's here, maybe all of you do. And so what I'd like you to do right now is just look around the room and send love to anybody your eyes fall upon. And be prepared to also let it in, like this is an exchange. So love going out and love coming back. Just sending that love out. And you don't have to make eye contact necessarily, just send the love. Just send it. Just send it out. And breathe. Make sure you're also receiving. Have you looked at the people behind you? Don't forget the people behind you. Yeah. There is a tribe in Africa where the birth date of a child is counted not from when they're born, not from when they're conceived, but from the day the child was a thought in the mother's head. When a woman decides she'll have a child, she goes off and she sits under a tree by herself and she listens until she can hear the song of the child that wants to come. And after she's heard the song of this child, she comes back to the man who will be the child's father, and she teaches it to him. And then, when they make love to physically conceive the child, some of that time, they sing the song of the child as a way to invite it in. When the mother is pregnant, she teaches that child's song to the midwives and the old women of the village, so that when the child is born, the old women and the people around her sing the child's song to welcome it. Then, as the child grows up, the other villagers are taught the child's song. If the child falls or hurts her knee, someone picks her up and sings her song to her. Or perhaps a child does something wonderful or goes through the rites of puberty. And then, as a way of honoring this person, the people of the village sing his song to him. If at any time during their life the person commits a crime or an aberrant social act, the individual is called to the center of the village, and the people in the community form a circle around them. And then they sing their song to them. The tribe recognizes that the correction for antisocial behavior is not punishment, it's love, and the remembrance of identity. When you recognize your own song, you have no desire or need to do anything that would hurt another. And it goes this way throughout their lives. In a marriage ritual, both songs for the couple are sung together. Finally, when this person is lying in bed ready to die, all the villagers know their song, and they sing the song to that person for the last time. You may not have grown up in an African tribe that sings your song to you at crucial life transitions, but life is always reminding you that when you're in tune with yourself and when you're not, when you feel good, what you're doing matches your song. And when you feel awful, it doesn't. In the end, we'll all recognize our own songs and sing them well. You may feel a little wobbly at the moment, but so have all great singers. Just keep singing. You will find your way home. So if love is the answer and love is the way, we already know how to love. Let's reclaim that now. That is what within us wants renewal and rebirth, the awareness of who we are as love. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's anchor that within. As we turn within, love is the truth. Love is the summary of all that we are and all that we've ever been and all that we're becoming. Love is the summary of the universe. It is the essence of the air we're breathing. It is the energy of this room of people. It is the connection that we have with every soul online, listening and watching, whether at this very moment live or later. We are infinitely connected. We're reaching right into those homes and those offices and those places where this is being experienced. And we are sending and receiving love from them, from you online right now. The altar emanates love. The sound team and the practitioner and the live streamer and all the ushers and greeters, everybody who set anything up, and the activity they're engaged in, and the activity we're engaged in as listeners. This is love. No one and nothing is left out. So I know for all of us that this resonant vibration of love is strengthened and lifted and expanded and present in us right now. It lives in us as memory and as motivation, and we take it forward into this next moment, into this next breath, receiving this infinite love around us and being a reflection of that, allowing it through us as it nourishes every part. Our job in this moment is simply to receive, to let in the power of that love, to let it act in our bodies, in our emotions, in our minds and hearts, in our beliefs, in our connections. And we're grateful to be reminded of it. We're grateful for the truth of it and the activity of creative law in us as love. So we take hold of this and receive it with enthusiasm, with deep gratitude and love and delight and joy, and we send it out into the world. We simply let it be what it is. And together we say, and so it is. Yes. Please stand and join me for the morning affirmation. As we say together, something within me yearns to go further, rise higher, and claim more freedom. I say yes to my renewal and rebirth now. And so it is. Thank you. You may be seated. And would the ushers please come forward? If you are online and you want to make a donation to Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living today, just text the dollar amount you want to give to the number on the screen. And we would be so delighted and honored to receive your gift. And for all of us in the room, some of you are on automatic tithing. That's great, and we're super grateful for that. If you're here for the first time, your presence here this morning is your gift. And that's also true of all of us. So if you bring your gift or your tithe this morning, I invite you to take it and put it over your heart, or hold it in your hands with a loved one if you're giving it with someone else. And for all of us, let's put our hands over our hearts as we prepare to bless ourselves and this offering together by saying, "This gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time." And so it is. Please go ahead.
Bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something gone that'll never return. I think I finally learned to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through grieving, I'm through dreaming that the life I had is ever coming back. No more wishing on someone else's star that'll never be mine. I think it's time to bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Yeah. Oh, I know it's gonna be it. survived many times before. Broken hearts and slamming doors. I'll be alright, yes I will, once more, just as I did back then. I'm gonna rise again, so bring it on. Everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do, yeah. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I know it's gonna be everything new.
We love you, Daniel. So on behalf of Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living, all of us here accept this offering and send it out into the world to seed more love wherever it goes. And so it is. If you're with us today for the first time, I want to draw your attention to the table back here on this section where Galen is standing. And there are all sorts of handouts there, flyers and magazines, and you're welcome to take any of them, but please pick up a welcome packet and open it up and fill out the blue card inside. If you do that and give it to Galen, she's going to give you a little book that is our thank you for being here today, and also an invitation to you to come and be with us often in the future. It's a little book called Nourishing Thoughts to support you in experiencing and offering and receiving more love. I want to thank everybody also today who has participated in assembling everything to make this wonderful for us. And I especially want to thank Joe Hughes, who got called at the last minute to come and do an altar for us, even in the midst of needing to go and coach her skaters today.
But what came from this meditation was cosmic consciousness, the call of the cosmos. That's what that's about.
Great, the call of the cosmos. So come up here and answer the call. Is that like an altar call? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, maybe that literally is what that is. All right, let's acknowledge everybody and thank them all. Yeah. Also want to let you know that we have our next sacred service time at the San Francisco Marin Food Bank in San Rafael at the warehouse. And that is where we pack food for neighbors who have food insecurity. And it goes to local areas that are closer to where folks live who have those needs. And it's just 2 hours. May 13th is our next session there that's a Tuesday, from noon to 2. If you're interested in participating on the team that day, let Ellen Nicosia know that by texting or emailing her at the contact information up on the screen. And let her know that by May 6th, because she has to have the names in and contact info a week in advance. Also, Leslie Giannetti has been doing a monthly coffee and faith sharing gathering. And they've been going pretty well, I understand. And so they are at 10 a.m. at Cafe Aroma in San Rafael on 4th Street. The next one will be May 14th, because it's always the second Wednesday of the month. So May 14th, 10 a.m. for coffee and faith sharing conversation with Leslie Giannetti. We have about 16 different ways, that's a slight exaggeration, but that you can request prayer. We're big on prayer. So one thing you can do if you just want to receive a prayer is you can dial the inspiration line, and 24/7 there's a recorded prayer there from one of our practitioners. You can get a live prayer from a practitioner not practitioner in miniature, a prayer session in miniature from the practitioner on duty, who this morning is Joyce. If she's not at the table when you go over to get your prayer, she'll be backstage doing prayer with somebody, and she'll take you back to a quiet area and do that for you. You can put a request in the prayer box. You can go online, and under the resources tab, you can look down and you can make a prayer request right through the website. So there are all ways to engage our practitioners and ask them to pray for you and with you. You can also make an appointment with a practitioner. Their contact info is over there on the table so that you can have a full session privately yourself. So pray, pray, pray. This is important stuff. Let me encourage the practitioners to stand now around the room as we prepare to complete the service this morning. And generally speaking, if you look for the people in the white stoles, those are our licensed practitioners. Many of them have been practitioners for 20 years or more. But they're not on duty this morning. Only the practitioner or practitioners at the table are the ones who are on duty to do prayer sessions. Nevertheless, you can ask them anything you want to about practitioners or treatment. So this is a time for you to just take in the love of this circle of people as we're all going to be praying at once right now. So now I invite you to stand and join me in the closing blessing and song right now. As we say together, I now walk so that whoever walks beside me dwells in the presence of God, and whoever places a hand in mine is lifted, and whoever thinks of me is illumined with God consciousness. For spirit and all people and I are one eternally. And so it is. Remember to beam love toward Daniel.
All right, then. Thanks for having me. Hope you enjoyed the service. Great to be with you again. Happy Easter after the fact. Happy spring. Have a wonderful week ahead. And let's sing this song about rising up. You ready? Here we go. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. Sing it again. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul.
going deep to feel the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already, I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already, I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal. Sing it again. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul.
Yes, you are. Thank you again. And bye.